So, Kay, you ready?
Yeah, of course I'm ready. Now, hold on. What's happened to you? You look terrible.
What do you mean I look terrible?
You look like you've been up all night.
Well, I've been up all night, haven't I?
Why have you been up all night?
Look, I've been studying the algorithm.
The what?
The algorithm.
What?
The YouTube algorithm. Gosh, you're such a fucking idiot.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. Okay, you've been studying the algorithm.
Yeah, because we got to up this, this isn't doing as well as I'd hoped.
What do you mean it's not doing as well as you'd hoped?
Well, I was hoping by now we'd be raking it in, but...
No, it's only been 4 videos.
Well, yeah, but even so, we should be generating a vibe by now.
No, we shouldn't. And anyway, what does it matter? We're just doing this for a laugh.
You may be doing it for a laugh. But as I explained, I'm doing it as redemption, and it does fucking matter.
Oh, well, okay. So, what have you learnt then?
Well, there's certain things that the algorithm seems to really like.
Okay, so you're saying we need to do those things?
Yeah, that's the kind of thing.
Well, what kind of subjects are those?
It's not about the subject.
What is it about then?
It's about how you deliver the subject.
Okay, so what are these things?
Well, number 1 is sex. But you said you're not willing to do anything to do with sex.
Of course I'm not going to do anything to do with sex. I said I'd give you 10 minutes a day, and that's it. I'm not doing sex. No way. No, you know that. I'm surprised you even mention it.
Yeah, well, okay. I thought I'd just give it a go. Okay, next, violence. But you also say you're not willing to do violence.
Well, I don't like violence. I don't watch violence, and I'm just not violent. So no, I'm not willing to do violence.
You're really such a fucking cunt, aren't you? You're just trying to sabotage this.
No, I'm not trying to sabotage. I just want to be reasonable. I'll give you 10 minutes of me being me.
You being you just isn't fucking interesting, is it?
Well, it's as interesting as you're going to get from me.
Well, I'll see if I can trade you in at some point.
Well, okay. Good luck with that. Anyway, okay, so, no violence, no sex.
Okay, well, the third option is we got to go right-wing. Right-wing politics, that really gets promoted by the algorithm.
Right-wing politics.
Yeah, so, are you willing to become a fascist?
No, of course I'm not willing to become a fascist. Well, that's ridiculous.
Well, look, that's the only thing we got left, isn't it? If you become a fascist, then at least we can appeal to a certain specific demographic. Because I looked that word up and I know what it means now.
Okay, well, no, I'm not willing to become a fascist.
Yeah, it's always me, isn't it? It's always me who has to do the fucking work. Okay, well, I'll do that then. I'll become a fucking fascist if I really have to.
No, neither of us should become fascists. I'm not interested in becoming a fascist. I'm not interested in doing a fascist YouTube channel.
Yeah, but that's where the views are.
Yeah, but it's not what I'm doing. I'm just not doing that. And I'm surprised you're even willing to consider it,
Yeah, it's not consider, it's just a calculated thing to get this channel to grow.
Yeah, but even so, there are lines that nobody should cross. And I'm not being a fascist.
Okay. Right, well, that leaves just one other thing.
Yeah? What's that?
Outrage.
Outrage?
Yeah, outrage. We got to generate some fucking outrage.
Outrage, okay, so how do you plan to do that?
Well, for a start, we need to talk about more contentious subjects.
Okay.
I'm still quite into this music thing. There's a lot of views in music, but we need to choose someone who's big and who's a little bit contentious, easily dislikable, okay?
Yep, nope. Well, okay, you got 10 minutes.
Okay, right, well, let's introduce it. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Cedric and K review Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift?
Yeah, Taylor Swift.
She's not contentious.
She is fucking contentious.
No, she's not. She's just... if anything, she's a bit bland.
No, look, remember, you're the one who's positive. Leave all the negative stuff to me. That's my shtick. You got to be optimistic and talk about how great she is, okay?
Okay, right, Taylor Swift.
So, Kay, what do you think of Taylor Swift?
Well, she's the queen of pop in many ways today. You know, there's they change, but at the moment she kind of is. Does huge tours, rakes in billions, best-selling songwriter. That's something I know. I don't know much about Taylor Swift, but I do know a few things. She's re-recording most of her, I think it's her first 6 albums, because when she left her label, they sold it to, was it a man called Scooter Braun, I think, something like that. And she objected that, partly because she objected to him owning the rights, and partly because she accused him of abusing her. So her way around that is to re-record all of those albums, which I think you got to admire that. You know, that's pretty admirable. And she wanted to get her albums back. They weren't giving them, so she just re-recorded them. And I think she's banking on the fact that her fans will buy that.
Yeah, fucking cynical gesture.
What do you mean cynical gesture? It's about reclaiming her identity.
Yeah, that's what you say.
Okay, so give me, as far as I can see, Taylor Swift is kind of about as big as pop gets, and therefore she's clearly doing something right, isn't she?
Yeah, well, that's the first thing.
What's the first thing?
It's not a she, is it?
What do you mean it's not a she? Of course, Taylor Swift is undoubtedly a she.
No, it fucking isn't. It's a corporation. It's a corporation of hundreds, if not thousands of people, of which the woman known as Taylor Swift is merely the figurehead. I suppose in some ways I can see how that's true. Well, yeah, it's more than true. It's a fucking fact. And, yeah, okay, but she writes her own songs. No, she fucking doesn't. She contributes towards writing their songs as part of a team of up to 10 songwriters. And she has teams of choreographers, and teams of dancers, and teams of musicians, and teams of lighting techs, and teams of PR people, and teams of marketing people, and teams of designers, and teams of set designers, and it's teams of teams of teams and teams of teams. And there Taylor Swift sits at the top, just kind of doing the song and dance shtick and getting all the fucking credit.
I don't think that's fair. And anyway, okay, let's say that's true. Let's say she does work with teams and it is a big corporate mission. She still produces excellent pop songs.
Well, that's certainly up for debate, isn't it?
But no, I don't think it is, because pop songs, by definition, are about being popular. And she is one of the most popular stars there's ever been. So she does pop well.
As I said, it's not she. It does pop well. It, the corporation known as Taylor Swift. And it does well because it is the only game in town as far as having that amount of money backing it. It's all a sewn-up deal.
Well, but even so, she has such devoted fans. She's not faking it.
She's faking everything. And that leads me to my other point. This re-recording her albums. You say that's admirable. But think about it. Is it admirable or is it running out of ideas?
What do you mean?
Well, if you're spending all your time re-recording your first 6 really successful albums, you can kind of justify the fact that you haven't come up with a new album for however many years.
Yeah, I don't think that's fair.
Well, it's true, though. It all takes time. Anyone who is a real artist who is desperate to get their stuff out, they wouldn't be recording albums they recorded 10 years ago. They'd be recording albums that they need to record now. Albums about now. And that's the third thing.
What's the third thing? Is it the third? I've lost track.
So have I. But let's say it's the third thing. Okay, here's the fucking third thing. She has an audience that is all based on teenage girls, right? and yet she's getting really quite old for that kind of audience. But she hasn't yet worked out a way of creating a new language that expresses this new age that she's entering. So that's why her latest album, what was it, Storyline of a Showgirl or something like that. Have you even listened to any Taylor Swift? Of course I haven't listened to Taylor Swift. It's not aimed at me. She's writing for teenage girls. Or they are writing for teenage girls. I'm a middle-aged rabbit, male, very male, and don't you fucking forget it. Don't worry, I never even think about it. It's just a given. It better remain a fucking given as well. Yeah, well, it will. So anyway, so she needs to, get her independence, start writing her own fucking songs on her own, and start reflecting the age that she actually is, and create a new musical language. Because, yeah, sure, she had a bit of talent at one point before she teamed up with this corporate devil-making thing that she's part of. What do you mean devil-making? Well, it's all selling your soul, isn't it? As soon as you go down that path, you are selling your soul to the devil. It might not be the devil, but it's a devil. And a devil is often worse than the devil nowadays. What do you mean worse than the devil nowadays? Well, the devil doesn't get up to too much mischief. It's all a devil. Look, I'm losing track of this. Yeah, anyway, it's irrelevant. My point is, you can't talk about Taylor Swift as a musician. You have to talk about Taylor Swift as a corporation. Okay, so as a pop corporation, yeah, I mean, she's still pretty good. I mean, some of her songs are pretty catchy. Name one. I can name one. Shake It Up. Yeah, okay, that's the only one I can name as well. Well, but it's a good song. Yeah, it was a pretty good song. But it wasn't an individual thing. That's my point. Okay, so let's say all of these things are corporate. If it's about pop music, that's about popularity. And she is one of the most popular artists ever. Oh, yeah, I suppose I do have to give you that. If it is about pop, then yeah. But just don't go thinking Taylor Swift is a person. It's not a person, it's a thing. It's a massive, great, big thing. Okay. So, there you go. I think we've solved Taylor Swift. Our conclusion is Taylor Swift is pretty good as a massive, great thing, but don't confuse her with an individual musician, because they're just two different things entirely. One is like a hamburger and the other is like a flight to Mars. Completely different things. Okay, I'm not sure that's quite the conclusion we've come to, but yeah, I quite enjoyed the chat, I have to say, and I like the fact you're branching out. Yeah, I am trying to branch out a bit. That's what this is all about. But you know what? I think we failed, though. What do you mean we failed? Well, there wasn't very much outrage. No, well, I don't do outrage. You don't do outrage. You don't do violence. You don't do fascism. You don't do sex. What the fuck do you fucking do? Well, I just do. I'll tell you what you do. You do sitting there looking like an idiot. Okay, yeah, okay, you know what, I'm going to own that. Yeah, I do sitting here looking like an idiot. So, it's not my problem. Yeah, okay. So, once again, you're putting it all on me. Okay. Well, yeah, I guess you can see it like that. I guess so. But, okay, well, we'll have to rethink, I think, the direction we're going in. I don't think this music stuff is working. I'm gonna go back to the algorithm and see what I can come up with. But be ready tomorrow, because we're definitely keeping this shit going. For now, anyway. Is that clear? Yeah, no, I know. Look, I told you, I'll do it for a month, give you 10 minutes a day. That's it. Okay, well, yeah, okay. That is fair. But, yeah, I better go and get back to my studies. See you tomorrow. Okay, well, yeah, Taylor Swift. Jolly good. I hope you found that very illuminating. And I'll see you all tomorrow.